Numerous effective individuals have coaches to control them in learning the aptitudes that lead to accomplishment, and I will put forth a valiant effort to offer you some basic individual accounting viewpoints. They state that life is where you get familiar with the exercise after the test. Something very similar applies to cash, yet you cannot return so as to fix calamitous monetary missteps that you have made over the long haul. However, as long as you are alive, you are a player on the field of the cash game, and you need to know the essential principles of personal finance. Rule number 1. To bring in cash from cash. The best way to avoid turning into a wage slave for the remainder of your life is to put aside investment funds. The benefit on your investment funds can be utilized to expand your way of life spending, decrease the quantity of years until you retire, or permit you to really have any retirement whatsoever. How are you getting along so far towards saving and getting it to bring in cash for you? Each dollar that you go through takes out its capacity to bring in cash for you later on. I am not suggesting that you quit eating at eateries and heading out to films. I am suggesting that you utilize some good judgment, such as taking a gander at your 4 greatest costs throughout the most recent couple of months and forcefully figuring out how to decrease them. The greatest impediment for the primary principle is close to home obligation of any sort, other than a home loan for your home, or a rent of any sort. Each close to home obligation that you cause diminishes your total assets which might have been working for you throughout your lifetime. Gaining individual obligation is actually similar to placing a huge opening in your wallet. In the cash game, a tremendous exchange of abundance happens between the haves and the have-nots over the words, "I can manage the cost of that regularly scheduled installment." Here is a clue. The have-nots are the ones who offer that expression. So please don't ever take a gander at whether you can bear the cost of a regularly scheduled installment to make a buy. Pay in real money after you have put something aside for the thing. Everything that you purchase with a 0% premium installment plan should be overestimated. In the background, your installment contract is offered to a moneylender with a loan cost, and retailers don't do this without working in a satisfactory benefit for themselves. Ask retailers how much the thing will cost on the off chance that you fork over the required funds, and you could get a lower price. Rule number 2. Always monitor your funds. The initial phase in losing monetary control and spiraling into debt and cash issues is just not managing individual budgets. Get ready for disastrous monetary mishaps with well-being, life, incapacity, and accident coverage. Plan and save before you purchase something. Make an accounting report for yourself in any event once per year to perceive how you are advancing. Cover each tab on schedule, or contact the bank to mention to them what is happening and make a fractional installment. On the off chance that you are incidentally unfit to deal with any of this, request some assistance quickly and find somebody reliable who will do this for you. The most widely recognized wellspring of monetary difficulty is an injury in your life. This can be a medical condition, huge costs or unfit to work, a passionate issue, separation or loss of a loved one, or a monetary issue, losing an employment, cut in compensation, movement, startling costs. Whichever the source might be, it prompts 3 passionate issues. The first is disavowal, the second is being overpowered, and the third is sadness. Forswearing makes individuals not open their mail and keep spending obviously, and being overpowered deadens individuals from getting help and managing the circumstance. For instance, on the off chance that you just lost a friend or family member, adjusting your checkbook and covering tabs isn't high in your needs. Lamentably, minuscule measures of obligation develop with revenue and punishments into apparently impossible piles of obligation, leaving you with terrible alternatives, for example, Chapter 11, helpless credit, declining way of life spending, and added pressure that you bring to relationships and work. Rule number 3. Pay consideration regarding the accounts of the individuals with whom you spend the most time with. Regardless of whether they are family members, companions, or colleagues, these individuals have the most effect on your monetary life. Do they reliably adhere to the initial 2 principles of the cash game? Do they bring in about a similar cash as you? In the event that the response to both of those is no, at that point I suggest that you begin investing somewhat less energy with them, and this is the reason. On the off chance that they don't reliably keep the initial 2 guidelines, it is impossible that you will, all things considered. You unknowingly model the individuals around you, and the more individuals you are presented to that don't adhere to the initial 2 principles, the almost certain that you will accidentally follow them. Nobody thinks they are attempting to stay aware of the Joneses, however we as a whole do it somewhat, and this is the component. Then again, in the event that they bring in much more cash than you may pile up a great deal of unpaid liability attempting to stay aware of them, meeting them at their number 1 costly eatery, going along with them for another costly excursion, purchasing another vehicle in light of the fact that yours is the junker among the entirety of your companions, and so on. On the other hand, if the greater part of your companions acquire significantly short of what you will transform into the gathering's financier. For instance, you will end up in the example of putting your visa down to pay for supper and they will all state they will take care of you later, however half of them never do. And they don't mind exploiting you in light of the fact that, all things considered, you procure significantly more than they do. Or on the other hand, you and your companions need to pay a store for leasing a house and they anticipate that you should compose the checks since you have the cash accessible and they don't. The local that you live in additionally makes monetary strain to abuse the initial two monetary objectives. Your neighbors are probably going to become companions, yet they additionally impact the size of your home, degree of your finishing, cost of furniture, and the size of your TV. So give extremely close consideration to the funds of your neighbors on the off chance that you don't like how they are measuring up to the initial two principles. Move someplace more aligned with your monetary objectives. In the event that your loved ones don't measure up monetarily, locate some extra individuals to invest energy with that have monetary propensities that you will like to copy and gain from. I have companions with a wide scope of pay, however it is considerably more hard to keep the initial two cash rules when I am at the limits with my pay. You will simply think that it's simpler to arrive at the following standard when the friend bunch that you spend time with adjusts nearer to your financial level. Rule number 4. Accelerate the other 3 standards. Add to your reserve funds by expanding your pay through propelling your profession. It doesn't matter whether you appreciate it, it is an unfortunate chore with the end being progress toward the satisfaction of rule number 1. Increase the amount that you save by forcefully bringing down 4 of your most elevated costs. Spend more time with individuals that take their personal finance seriously and are deliberately constructing their abundance the quickest. Implementing these 4 guidelines will subsequently set the stage for you to achieve more successes in the cash game. If you found value so far, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. The next videos on the screen contain information you will love. Click to watch them now and I will see you there.